The alien colony was quiet that evening, the usual bustle replaced by a soft hum of lights and distant conversations. I had been invited to spend the night at my best friend's family home, an honor I didn't fully understand yet, but one I accepted with equal parts excitement and nervousness. His cousin, a strikingly beautiful alien woman, moved through the house with a grace I could never hope to match. Her skin glowed faintly in the soft luminescence of the hall lamps, a gentle violet hue that seemed almost alive. Long, flowing hair framed her face, dark as the void outside the colony windows. She had a presence that made me conscious of every movement, every breath. She always teased me, her sharp tongue poking fun at my clumsy human ways, yet there was an undercurrent I hadn't quite understood. Tonight, however, there was a difference. She lingered nearby in ways that made my chest tighten, in ways that made my fingers clench nervously against the cup of sweet liquid they had given me. I told myself I was imagining it. Perhaps the isolation of being the only human in the room made my imagination run wild. Yet every time I glanced at her, she met my gaze with eyes that sparkled, not with amusement this time, but with something deeper, more deliberate. The evening passed in a haze of food, laughter, and careful observation. My best friend had disappeared briefly to check on some arrangements, leaving me sitting alone in the main hall. The alien cousin approached, her footsteps silent on the polished floor. I could feel the air shift as she came closer. Then, without warning, she settled beside me. Too close. The warmth of her body pressed against mine, and my entire nervous system went on alert. I tried to act casual, though my heart was hammering. Hi," I managed, voice cracking slightly. She tilted her head, letting her long hair brush my shoulder in a seemingly accidental gesture that felt anything but accidental. "You're nervous," she said softly, almost a whisper. There was no teasing in her voice now, no mocking undertone I had come to expect. It made me uncomfortable in ways I had never experienced before. I'm fine," I muttered, aware that every heartbeat echoed too loudly in my chest. She leaned slightly closer, eyes searching mine with an intensity that made my stomach twist. "You think you're safe here, human, but you have no idea what I'm about to tell you." My mouth went dry. "Tell me what?" A shiver ran through her, a subtle but noticeable tremor, and I realized she was not speaking lightly. Her hand hovered near mine, then slowly, deliberately brushed against mine. A spark of warmth shot through me at the contact, and I had to resist the urge to pull back, even though every instinct screamed caution. "In our culture," she whispered, "sitting this close is not just comfort. It is trust. It is an offering of something private, something hidden. Only with someone we truly value do we allow this." Her voice wavered now, fragile and human-like in its emotion, though her features remained beautifully alien. I should not be showing this to you." I swallowed hard. I don't know what to say." She laughed softly, a delicate sound that carried no malice. "Say nothing. Just listen." Her eyes glimmered as she continued. "Humans, you think your fragility makes you weak. I thought so too. I thought you would be incapable of understanding what I feel. But now I see that maybe your weakness is a kind of strength." My chest tightened. Weakness? Strength? The juxtaposition made me dizzy. She had always been sharp, unyielding, teasing, but now her words carried an intimacy that left me unprepared. "Why me?" I whispered, more to myself than to her. Her gaze softened. "Because you do not fear me. You do not see me as untouchable or dangerous. You do not mock my ways, nor do you retreat from them. You accept me, even as I am trying to show you now." Her hand rested fully against mine, her fingers curling lightly around mine. The warmth was unbearable and comforting all at once. My heart raced as I felt the weight of the confession she hadn't yet fully spoken. I began, but the words failed me. My mind spun with guilt and desire, with loyalty to my friend and the unspoken pull toward her. I had never felt this way, not with anyone. Yet here she was, breaking barriers I hadn't even realized existed. Her lips parted slightly, and her voice dropped to a whisper so low I barely heard it. "I hate that I feel this, human. I hate that you make me vulnerable. I hate that I care for you more than I should." The words hit me like a physical blow. I could feel my knees weaken. Her confession shattered every assumption I had held about our interactions. She had always been untouchable in my mind, the teasing cousin who was impossible to understand, and now she had revealed her truth, raw, fragile, and profoundly human in its emotion. "I care about you too," I said softly, surprising myself with the admission. My voice cracked under the weight of the truth. Her eyes shone with unshed tears, the delicate glow of her skin catching the light as they reflected the warmth of the room. "Then you understand," she whispered. "You understand why I cannot be casual. I cannot let this be meaningless. I cannot pretend that my feelings do not matter, or that your presence does not affect me." I reached for her hand fully, intertwining my fingers with hers. The contact was grounding, a tether in a world that suddenly seemed too chaotic, too uncertain. I felt the fragility she spoke of, not as weakness, but as the honesty of someone risking everything by showing their heart. The tension stretched unbroken, until my best friend returned quietly, observing the closeness with a soft, knowing smile. There was no anger, no accusation, only recognition. He understood the bond forming in the silence, the vulnerability exchanged in that quiet space. She leaned against me, head resting lightly on my shoulder. Her hair brushed my arm, and the tremor in her body eased slightly as she relaxed into the connection we had forged. "I trust you," she whispered, "in ways I do not trust many. And that terrifies me." I squeezed her hand, feeling the sincerity in every tremble, every careful breath. "Then I will not betray that trust," I said quietly, my voice firm despite the pounding of my heart. Her lips curved into a small, broken smile. That is why humans are different," she murmured, pressing her forehead gently against mine. "You see me as I am, not as I should be, and you do not run." The night stretched on, but for the first time, I did not feel out of place. The alien lights of the colony glowed softly around us, the distant hum of life continuing outside our little bubble. In that closeness, in that fragile, trembling honesty, I found a bond stronger than any challenge I had faced. Humanity had given her something her strength alone could not, and in her trust, she had given me something I would never forget. As dawn crept through the translucent walls, we sat together quietly, fingers intertwined, breathing in the shared warmth and unspoken understanding. The confessions of the night hung in the air, delicate yet unbreakable. And in that fragile intimacy, I understood love, trust, and courage were not defined by species or strength or customs. They were defined by the choice to stay, to understand, and to accept. And she had chosen me,